So I'm guessing that everybody who watched my last video was expecting to see my tattoo, or my new tattoo at least, in the process of me telling that whole story. Well, I figured let me do a separate video and I can actually go in depth so that video doesn't turn into a 20-minute long, escapade. So yeah, I'm gonna show you my tattoo. It's glorious. It's inside my left forearm. I don't know how well you guys can see it on there. Anyways, it says the word thrive. It's done in vintage typewriter lettering, the period at the end, and the artist was amazing. I went to Skinscapes in Mahopac, New York. Got this amazing artist, Chris, and he really captured the vision that I wanted, which was to make it look like I stuck my arm into a vintage typewriter and they just typed on me, and so ink went everywhere and the letterings aren't always straight, and so it's really cool. I don't know if you guys can capture the detail that's on it, but there's little dots everywhere and certain letters have parts missing and they're crooked, and it's just absolutely beautiful and I love everything about it. So why did I get the word thrive tattooed on my arm? About 2 years ago, I was going hiking with a friend of mine while we were down in Tennessee, and on our way to the trail, my friend started playing some Switchfoot, which I absolutely love. Switchfoot. They're a phenomenal band. You play Dare You to Move. I can't talk tonight. I'm too excited. If you play Dare You to Move to me, I will probably cry. I cry at a lot of things. I'm a fairly emotional person. So there's that. But we were playing, he started playing me their new album at the time. And we're just talking and playing music and singing and learning music. And all of a sudden the song Thrive came on, which I'm going to put a link to that song down below. I think you guys should listen to it. It's absolutely beautiful and lovely. And if you don't know Switchfoot, you haven't listened to John Foreman's solo stuff, it's just, you need to. You're missing out. I'm sorry. Anyways, so my friend played the song Thrive. And all of a sudden, almost immediately, as soon as I heard the chorus, I'm just tears, and I'm just like, ah! Which is what normally happens. And there's a line, or specifically the line that got me, was the line that says, I want to thrive, not just survive. And if you watch my last video, you'll understand that, you'll know that I was talking about how I deal with depression and anxiety. I'm still dealing with anxiety. And after my dad passed away, and even before then, just this multitude of things just started happening in my life. And I kind of got this really nasty mentality where I believed that I just had to go through life and survive it. That life sucks. That someone upstairs doesn't really like me very much and was out to get me, or at least just didn't care about me, which is not true, because he does. I believed that just nasty things were always going to happen in my life, and it was just my job to just get through it and just kind of accept everything that came to me and not really push back or try or really do anything about it. And that's a really negative kind of way to look at life, especially when life is just so wonderful and I'm in a cheery mood. I got my tattoo and I'm happy. Yeah, it's just a really kind of nasty thought process, because life is about living. It's not about just getting through it. Yes, I consider myself to be a survivor of someone who's lost a lot of family members, who's battled depression and anxiety, who's battled cutting, who's battled making herself sick, all the stuff, who comes from a family of rape survivors, who is a survivor of sexual assault herself, sexual abuse, and physical abuse, and just everything, just wonderful stuff going on that have gone in my life. But I am a survivor nonetheless, and I do hold that title very close to my heart. I love that I can be called a survivor because I've gotten through something. I didn't let it eat at me, or I didn't let it control me, or at least I don't let it control me anymore. I wouldn't be a survivor, in my own opinion, if I decided I was going to crumble and let my depression take the best of me and take me away from my family and from my friends too soon. You know, I wouldn't consider myself to be a survivor if I did that. But as much as I do consider myself to be a survivor, there's a difference between being a survivor and just kind of living your life thinking that you're constantly in a battle and you're never going to win. And that's a horrible way to think about things. So I've been thinking about getting this tattoo for the last 2 years since I got my first one. And I realized that I needed it. I needed to keep this thought with me all the time. And I just knew that I wanted to get the word thrive with a period at the end as sort of a command tattooed on my body, especially somewhere I could see it. And I knew I wanted to put it on my arm. And I put it in a spot that was my go-to spot when I used to cut. It was my go-to spot when I was going through a phase where I really was struggling not to cut, where I would just, I'd take like headbands that had the metal clip at the end and just snap it against my arm until I was bruised. It wasn't a fun time, not at all. And so I still have a couple of very light ones there. I mean, they're barely visible, but I tattooed it over my go-to spot because I really didn't want to ever put it anywhere else. And that was a spot where I could hide it and easily with long shirts or jackets. And just, I didn't want to put it anywhere else. Million other things. Cutting it is a whole other video. But yeah, I definitely knew that I wanted something to remind myself that no matter what it is that I'm doing, I should thrive. That I should thrive in life. That I should not let past experiences hold me back. And I should be just this ball of joy that came out of darkness, I guess you could say. I don't want to be that person that sits at home and is depressed 24/7. I mean, yes, we have our bad days, but I didn't want that to be my life anymore. And I got it done in typewriter ink because I am a writer, and I am someone who, with her writings that are mostly nonfiction, or even if they are fiction, they still tell a story where it's going to make you question people, and it's going to question how you treat people. And I wanted that my writing, no matter what it is I'm doing, is thriving. I'm putting the best of my heart on the line. I'm putting my heart, I'm putting my stories, my soul, my energy, everything out in these pages. And I want nothing but the best to come out. I'm not going to try and sell some sap story, of, unbridled passions between two hopelessly in love teenagers have got, werewolves and vampires. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to write stuff about things that have happened in my life and have changed my life, and about people that have changed my life, and about things that have changed me. And I just knew that I needed this. And I was, the last couple of days I've been really thinking about more, especially in the last 24 hours. And then I woke up this morning and called, booked my appointment, and went. And I took my brother with me, and when he saw it and he saw me, and he just told me afterwards, he goes, "Ariana, you're smiling the whole time." And I said, yeah, because I'm looking down on it. And that's the one thing I'm very proud about with my tattoos, is that they're stuff that I can die happy with, and they're there for a reason, and they're going to be there when I need them. And when I don't need them, they're just going to look awesome. So yeah, that's the story of Thrive. And I just honestly couldn't be happier with it. And I'm so glad that's there. And it's not that it covers spots, or scars, but it's that it's covering me, and God's covering me, and it's what I needed. because as much as I'm a survivor, I don't want to live my life living in the past and living under that dark cloud. I don't want to be that person. I want to move forward and I want to thrive. So yeah, that's my story.